Hello, hello, and welcome. Thanks for joining me. I'm Cheryl. This is Your Journey Yoga. Today we are going to go over bridge pose. So bridge pose is a wonderful foundational pose that will activate your hamstrings, your glutes. It will help realign your spine. It will help you get stronger through your core. It's just a wonderful, wonderful pose. Actually, activates your thyroid, but there are some contraindications for bridge pose. So just being mindful of those if you have a neck injury, if you're taking extra special care of your hips, your lower back. So you want to be mindful how high you come up, making sure that you are breathing. So there's this tendency, since the chin is going to be drawn towards the chest, that oftentimes the windpipe might get closed if you go too high. So make sure that you can still really focus on those big, long, deep breaths. You also do not want to be looking side to side. So anytime we have that chin down, you've got pressure on the back of your head and you're lifting those hips, you do not want to be looking side to side. So your gaze is always forward. So that goes when you're in class too, not just doing a video, but for sure. So if you are not positive as to the cues that I am giving you, and you have me on your side, I much prefer you come down onto your back, check it out, rewind, do all that good stuff, and then come back up into it so you are not looking sideways once you are in bridge pose. Cool? All right, you guys, so for bridge pose, we are going to come down onto our backs. Our feet are going to be right in line with our hips, about hip width apart. So you guys, it's super funny. Sometimes I say hip width apart and you guys think you're like gigantor with the hips. You're not. You've got narrower hips than you think. Feet right in line with those hips. Knees are going to remain straight up to the sky. So we have this tendency to flare out the knees and let them open. So if you're feeling pressure on the outside edge of your foot, that's a great indication that your knees have flared out open. We want to feel all four corners of our foot rooted into the earth. So when I say all four corners, I mean, so if these are your toes, this is the ball of your foot. You want to feel the inside and the outside of the ball of your foot. Here's the heel, inside and outside of the heel of your foot. So you are pressing through the pads of your toes, equally the heel of your foot, equally the ball of your foot. Make sense? Cool enough. Hands are down by your sides. Now you're going to tuck the pelvis so that the small of the back presses into the mat. This is really going to activate those core muscles and that pelvic floor. Now we want to keep the knees in line with those hips. I want you to visualize your spine as a string of pearls, and you are going to lift one pearl at a time as you begin to press through the heels to lift the hips. One pearl lifts. Can you feel those glutes engage, hamstrings engage, core is strong, and we slowly peel that pearl necklace or each vertebra up off of the mat. Knees in line with those hips. Have they flared out? Can you feel inside and outside of the ball of the foot, inside and outside of the heel of your foot? Whole foot planted into the mat. Squeeze your buns. So now the chin has come towards the chest. We're not squeezing it to the chest. It's just a natural occurrence. Core is strong. Can you feel that? Now from bridge pose here, this is a great foundation. Adding on, if you like, we bring the hands behind your back, interlacing your fingers and working to bring those arms and extend them out so you feel your whole arm resting against the earth. Now that might not happen for some. You might have bend at the elbows and those hands are lifted. If that's the case, stay here and focus on seeing if you can get the outside edge, the pinky toe side edge of your hand to the mat. If you are there, you're ready to move on only if you'd like to. You're going to roll your shoulders underneath you, one shoulder at a time. And you're going to lift those hips to the sky. Being mindful, because this is where those knees really want to flare out. We want to keep those knees right in line with the hips. Squeeze your buns and lift those hips as high as you can. Find your breath. Now that chin right up next to the chest. Being sure we're not looking side to side. We're just looking straight up. Breathe. Now, can you feel that little fire burning in those glutes, in those hamstrings? Are those knees in line? Find your breath. Now, I feel like you can walk your feet in towards the backs of your hands. Again, knees are in line with those hips. If you can feel the back of your hands against the back of your heels, you're ready to take a hold of those ankles, if you like. Do not have to, guys. Breathe. Now releasing the hands, unrolling one shoulder at a time, slowly lowering back down, one vertebra, one pearl coming back to the mat, making sure those knees aren't flaring out, all the way back down. Draw one knee in towards your chest and then the other. Pull those knees in nice and tight and just gently rock side to side. So that is bridge pose, and that is a foundational pose into getting into wheel pose, another fun one. So mastering bridge pose, it's such a great pose. Really working, so a lot of times, many people have a hard time firing up their glutes and their hamstrings. Overactive quads, underactive hamstrings and glutes can cause all kinds of lower back, postural issues, so really key in firing those up, guys. Good, let's bring the hands behind the thighs, either rocking yourself up or bringing those knees to one side, coming up to a seated position. Bridge pose. If you have any questions, guys, if ever there's a pose where you're like, can you do this for me, break it down, whatever you need, I'm here for you guys. So I hope that was helpful in bridge. May you progress at the right pace. Know, you guys, it's your journey, right? So take it as your journey. It's about finding health and happiness and exploring, but always being safe and being kind, taking care of your body, your mind, your spirit. Until the next time, my friends, always the light in me honors the light in each and every one of you, which means namaste.